When your horse grabs the fence, arches their neck, and pulls in that strange gulping breath, do you actually know what they're trying to tell you? Yes, it looks odd. Most people at the barn will tell you to stop it immediately, put on a crib collar, remove anything they can grab, treat it like a vice before it spreads. But behind that repetitive motion, there's something most horse owners never stop to consider. It's one of the most misunderstood things a horse can do. And if you punish it, block it, or treat it like a bad habit to be eliminated, which most owners do, you might be taking away the only coping mechanism your horse has left, without ever asking why they needed it in the first place. Let's start with what cribbing really means. 1. It's not a vice. It's a distress signal with no other voice. Most horse owners get the same advice the first time they see cribbing. Stop it immediately. The assumption is that cribbing is destructive, contagious, and pointless. A quirk that spreads through barns like a bad habit, picked up from the wrong company. Here's what's actually happening. Cribbing is not random. It is not laziness. It does not come from boredom in the way we usually mean that word. Cribbing is a stereotypy, a repetitive behavior that develops specifically in response to chronic stress, frustration, or an environment that fails to meet the animal's core needs. Horses in the wild do not crib. Horses with unlimited grazing, genuine social contact, and freedom of movement do not crib. Cribbing emerges when something essential is missing, and the horse has found the only way they can to cope with that absence. Think about that for a second. Your horse is not broken. They built a survival mechanism, and every time you see them crib, they are communicating something about their internal world that they have no other way to express. And by the way, if your horse also weaves, stall walks, or head shakes repetitively, don't dismiss those either. We'll get to what all of those behaviors share at the end, and what they're all pointing toward together. 2. What the science actually discovered. For decades, the standard approach to cribbing was prevention and punishment. The behavior was labeled a vice, treated as contagious, and managed almost entirely through suppression. Then researchers looked more carefully at what was happening inside the cribbing horse. A 2002 study from the University of Bristol examined the neurochemistry of horses who crib and found something that changed the entire conversation. When horses crib, their brains release endorphins, the same natural painkillers and mood regulators produced during exercise, social bonding, and play. The cribbing horse is not being destructive. They are self-medicating. They have found a way to generate the neurochemical relief their environment is not providing naturally. What the study also found is that horses prevented from cribbing through collars or physical barriers showed measurably higher cortisol levels and increased agitation. Removing the crib does not remove the stress. It removes the only release valve. Here's what most people don't realize. When you stop a horse from cribbing without addressing why they crib, you are not solving the problem. You are sealing a pressure cooker. 3. The environment is the message. Here's where it gets even more powerful. Horses are built for near constant movement. In the wild, they travel up to 20 miles a day and graze for 16 to 18 hours. Their digestive system, their nervous system, their social instincts, all of it is designed around that continuous, low-level stimulation. Modern stable management gives them something completely different. A stall, 4 walls, limited turnout, 2 meals a day instead of continuous grazing, isolation instead of herd contact. The horse's nervous system does not adapt quietly to that. It responds with anxiety, frustration, and a relentless search for something that produces even a moment of relief. Cribbing becomes that something. It is the horse creating from within their own body what the environment refuses to give them. What makes this even more meaningful is that cribbing often peaks around feeding time, when anticipation and hunger are highest, and the gap between what the horse needs and what they have is sharpest. They are not misbehaving in that moment. They are overwhelmed, and they are telling you so. Now, before we keep going, if you're seeing your horse differently right now, hit like and subscribe. That's how we get these videos to more horse owners who want to understand what their horse is really trying to say. 4. The ancient blueprint behind the behavior. To understand cribbing fully, you have to go back further than the stable. The horse's nervous system was never built for stillness. For millions of years, movement was survival, grazing was safety, herd contact was protection. A horse standing alone in a confined space, unable to move freely, separated from companions, that is not neutral for the equine brain. That is a threat signal running on a loop. Behavioural scientists call stereotypies like cribbing vacuum activities. Behaviours that emerge when an animal's hardwired needs have nowhere natural to go. The blueprint for grazing, for movement, for social connection is still written into your horse's nervous system. When the environment blocks every one of those outlets, the nervous system finds another path. Cribbing is that path. It is ancient, it is biological, and it is your horse doing exactly what their body was built to do, trying to survive a world they were never designed for. 5. Not every horse develops this. Yours is telling you something specific. Not every horse in a stall cribs. Not every horse on limited turnout develops a stereotypy. The horses that do are the ones whose threshold for coping has been crossed, and crossed repeatedly over time. Your horse is not weak. They are sensitive. They are emotionally attuned. Studies on equine personality and stereotypy development have found that horses with higher environmental sensitivity, more reactive, more social, more aware, are disproportionately represented among cribbers. Your cribbing horse is not the problem horse. They may be the most honest horse in the barn. They never stopped communicating. They just had to find a language you weren't taught to read. 6. What most owners never realise. This is the real message. Remember those other behaviours mentioned at the start. Weaving, stall walking, head shaking. This is what I was talking about. They are not separate problems. They are different dialects of the same language. A language your horse developed because every quieter signal went unanswered. Here's what most owners never realise. By the time cribbing becomes established, by the time it is a fixed pattern, the horse has already been trying to communicate for a long time. The cribbing is not the beginning. It is what remains after everything else stopped working. And here is the hardest truth of all. Cribbing, once established, rarely disappears completely, even when management improves. Because the nervous system remembers. The relief it found, it holds on to. What that means is not that your horse is damaged. It means the window to hear them was earlier than you knew. But the window to help them is still open right now. More turnouts, forage available around the clock, social contact with other horses, reduction in stall time. These are not luxury changes. They are the answer to the question your horse has been asking. So, when your horse grabs that fence rail, arches their neck, and pulls in that breath, pause before you reach for the crib collar. What you are looking at is not a vice. It is not stubbornness. It is not a horse trying to make your life harder. It is an animal whose core needs went unmet for long enough that they had to build their own relief from scrap inside their own body, because nothing in their environment gave it to them. That is not a bad habit. That is a horse who never stopped trying to tell you something, and that behaviour, it was never meaningless to them. It shouldn't be meaningless to you either.